Welcome to practice. Please find a comfortable way of being, not just a comfortable seat, perhaps. It's walking practice. As I've come to understand, there's this idea, this phrase in Hinduism and yoga philosophy called a darshan. It's like your view, the view you take. And it's used sometimes like when a murti is being brought out, you have a view of it, and you're not supposed to just see the image, you actually see what that murti is sort of holding in terms of energetics. And it creates a feeling in one's consciousness of that murti. So if it's Ganesha or Lakshmi, you feel in your consciousness, you witness in your consciousness, you're viewing in your consciousness the energies, not just what your eyes are seeing. Ramana talks about the Sad Darshan. Sad means the true, or maybe the highest darshan. And you can think of it just like your vision, the vision that you carry. You might think, well, our worldly vision, our day-to-day material life vision, has this view of I'm a separate person and I'm toggling along through my world. Derpty derpty derp. We've got all these preferences and highs and lows and I don't know, goals or something. And so in our practice, we're going to play with this idea of just widening that vision, maybe starting to form for ourselves what is this true vision, highest vision that Ramana talks about. Where the little I, this sense of a separate I in a world, disappears. We view something else. Instead of viewing this ego personality in a world, we have the vision of something else. I bring up this idea of when they walk out with the murtis and how the murti is meant to bring into the consciousness a certain energetic quality that's associated with that murti. The same thing. When we look out, do we just see the dog eat dog material world? People, I don't know, fighting for resources or how to pay my rent. I don't know what it is that we say about the world. Or do we see the view as people like Ramana and Nisargadatta promise us? That this whole consciousness is one thing. And that there is a universal experience of love of being when we see that we are the whole being. That perhaps that feeling will arise in our consciousness if we treat this whole visual, sensorial experience as a murti. It is the object, and associated with this object might not be this world of separateness, but something sacred, divine. And so you don't need to see with your eyes necessarily. It's observe. Observe with all your senses. Every sound or word you hear, every sense and sight. Can we open ourselves to that view. Sad Darshan, highest view. Part of expanding that vision for me involves seeing this the story of Richard's life, the story of our individual Jiva life, to humbly see it as just this momentary fragment, much like a dream. When you have a dream at night, it may be a big deal while you're in the dream. It might even be a big deal when you first wake up. But then we forget about it. Its impact wanes. That as we awaken to this whole consciousness, a oneness of being, can we hold in our view that this story, our 80 to 100-year life, whatever it may be, is really just a small fragment, a drop in the whole ocean of beingness. And should we be able to open our vision to the vastness of our being, could it in fact flood this drop with that universal love? That we do not open our eyes and look out and see a separate world of separate beings. That the vision of wholeness is seen right now as it is, as it has always been. It takes a willingness, an eagerness to open your lens, to expand your view. To see life bigger than the individual story of this little person in the world. And we're not discrediting it, we're not even ignoring it. We're welcoming it into the vision of the whole. We're not trying to combat this little ego or kick it to the side, but rather embrace it and welcome it into the vision of the whole. There's no duality to be had here, no separateness. And we cannot see this vision with just our eyes. It's not possible. To see with just the eyes or just the ear is to, with intent, shut off the whole, to create duality. The seer and the seen, the ego and its world. But to have the vision of the whole, we must expand so the mind grasps a wider and fuller view. Where everything we have seen or heard or sensed gets welcomed, embraced back into the whole. Try to open your consciousness, open your mind, expand it to the edges of this life. We can see life before we were born, after we will pass, and we still appreciate this little snippet during see the whole timeline. There's a feeling to it, to that vastness. We can also go wider in this moment. There's other things happening in the world, out in the cosmos, in this very moment. Things that our five senses, that our sphere of influence can never reach. But our consciousness can know of it, can embrace it. The turning of the cosmos in this moment, well beyond my individual storyline. Open your vision. Wider in space, longer in time. Than what the individual story finds important and relevant. Feel the surge of love, like a flood being released. You do not have to disidentify or shed this life, but welcome in to the vastness. Go wider in space, longer in time. You can go to the edge of the mind's imagination and keep going. There you can feel the Sad Darshan, the vision of the whole. It is not in conflict or contradiction. You're just spending a little time remembering your wholeness. Who knows how it may impact this little snippet of life? Open to the Sad Darshan, the vision of the whole. Witness the fullness, the breath of being, how vast it goes beyond this snippet of the personal life. The wave and flood of love, interconnected reality, pour into consciousness. Open your view. Let the whole enter your vision. Feel the vastness of consciousness, longer than the beginning and end of this lifetime, wider in space than your footprint. Let that feeling pour into consciousness, the vision of the whole, endless creation. vaster and wider than conflicts, goals, troubles, preferences, circumstance. See in your vision that this life, what we call my life, let it be stitched into the whole tapestry. You are not just a part of it. You can witness the whole just like you can witness the individual. Practice the darshan. Let in the feeling that comes with wholeness. It's a fixation of sorts to be stuck in the individual, the separate, the divided, the goal and achievement based, in the struggle and circumstantial. It has a feeling to it. The feeling is quite small for me. Just unfix for a little while. Open the view. Go wider and longer than this life. Feel into the edges and feel a little bit beyond the edges. Take in the wider vision. It is not in opposition or contradiction. The whole scoops up this little life and all the little lives and more. Enter that feeling. Embrace the presence. What you're seeing, hearing, and sensing, it is the whole. It is the Sad Darshan. All the little individual things, they are the Sad Darshan. Nothing can be outside the whole. The division is in appearance only, a construct of the mind. Receive the vision of the whole. Feel the flood of love, Ananda. as though a sacred murti was brought into view. Your meditation posture is a posture of sacred reverence, where you hold the vision of oneness. all the objects of the individual life. You name them: table, chair, body, but that is not their true name. That is not what they really are. They are really the whole. They will be the whole much longer than what they are called by you. See things as their true form, true name, true image. Open to the widest vision. Where everything is forever at peace. Relax from the practice.